Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Spirits in the Studio. I'm Nancy and I'm an artist. Today I want to talk about my latest spirit portrait, that of Clint Eastwood. Like all my spirit portraits, it contains the subject's power animals and botanical allies. Spirit portraits are meant to explore the inner archetypes, and in this case, the elements that surround and influence the presence of Clint Eastwood on screen and beyond. The Power Animals and Botanicals here came forward during my reading, and they are highly significant for their symbolic resonance with this person and his soul. They paint a portrait of quiet strength, instinct, and transformation. Clint Eastwood has long embodied a particular kind of power. It's restrained, watchful, and very grounded. He seems like someone who does not suffer fools. Clint has strong intuition, and this certainly helps with the fact that he has strong survival skills. And given those survival skills, he has the opportunity to evolve. This is very attractive because we all like to be with people who know what they're doing. On a primitive level, we know that if our own skill set is not too hot when it comes to navigating life, we know that it may help us to associate ourselves with someone who is a strong player. And I think this is the appeal of the characters Clint plays in his films. Imagine, for example, that you are in the process of getting mugged and Dirty Harry comes around the corner. Would you get behind him? I would. We also see competence in his professional life as a director, producer, restaurateur, businessman, and even politician. So now let's get into his power animals. In this portrait, we have Fox, representing intelligence, adaptability, and strategic silence. Fox is very clever and knows to sit back and let other people show us who they truly are. And Fox is a survivor, always reading the terrain, especially reading the behavior of others, as I said. So Fox mirrors Eastwood's understated vigilance, the ability to say very little, yet command the entire space. And now we're on to Manatee, who brings a very different energy. Manatee is gentle, extremely loving, and calm. Manatee is all about relationships, close bonds, and nurturing others. Manatee counterbalances the tough guy in Clint. Manatee also speaks to softened strength, which is far more powerful than brute force. I think this is the underlying film in Clint's movies, even though Clint seems to cast himself as the brute force character who crushes the bad guys. He includes scenes of his own tenderness, and his stories contain other characters who are gentle and moral, demonstrating the wisdom of Manatee. This wisdom, or high-level love energy, is the essence for which many of the other characters Clint has played, it's what they ultimately are fighting for. So in his career as a master storyteller, Manatee has guided Clint to produce stories that demonstrate the evolution of the soul from force to compassion, patience, and perspective. Next, we have Butterfly, symbolizing transformation of Clint himself as a soul. And in this lifetime, Clint has gone from a struggling actor to a major movie star, director, and producer. Butterfly medicine takes us through the shedding of identities, roles, and skins. Butterfly is definitely central to Clint's life and career. Parrot joins Clint by helping him remember his lines, but most importantly, Parrot pushes Clint beyond the ordinary by reminding him to have fun and to continue learning by being curious. Even at the age of 95, Clint continues to learn and work, and he says he has no plans to retire. Now, if Clint could step out of his skin and embody one power animal in particular, I think it would be Lynx. Lynx offers lessons in heightened perception and hidden knowledge. In other words, Lynx sees what others miss. Lynx is the watchful stillness behind many of Clint's characters. Lynx represents the pause before action, the knowing glance that Clint is famous for, and the power of restraint. Now for the botanical allies. I include botanicals in every spirit portrait because the plant world is no less rich in its gifts to us. Mandrake came forward in Clint's reading. Mandrake gives him his passion for storytelling, romance, and the thrill of self-realization through action and self-sufficiency. Valerian brings efficient decision-making, in particular to Clint's style of directing. It shows Clint that all you need to do is put the spotlight on the key things that matter and cut all the neurotic practices and high maintenance people. So this concludes this deep dive on my spirit portrait of Mr. Eastwood. There's more, if you like, on my Substack about this. And by the way, the portrait is available for purchase currently. This is a 24 by 36 inch mixed media painting on wrapped canvas. I will also be making limited edition prints. Please inquire if you're interested. And also remember that you do not have to be famous to be in one of my spirit portraits. I do take commissions, so again, please inquire. I've made a video on my process, and you can always email me and just ask questions if you like. And that's it for now. Thank you for watching and listening. I hope this was of value. Please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, may your power animals be with you.